Okay, so that festival in Paris is for short Christmas plays, and I had already written several, so I submitted them. And the way I got into that is I belong to an online group called Playwrights Binge, which is a group of playwrights who share opportunities from mainly in the US, but sometimes in the UK and further afield. And one of the members there mentioned that he had a script on in Paris. So I thought, oh, that sounds like an interesting thing, because I'm trying to get as many cities in the world to produce my work as possible. So I wrote to the woman, Stephanie Campion, who's in charge of the Moving Parts theatre company there, and said, I've got a few scripts that are actually set in Paris, so would you be interested in doing a reading? So I sent one off, which was about the French scientist Antoine Lavoisier and his wife Marianne during the French Revolution, where she's trying to protect him from going to the guillotine. So it's just another 10-minute play, and Stephanie liked it, and she said, well, I'm interested in directing that. So she directed it in Paris, and I was able to get up very early in the morning because they're 12 hours ahead of us here. So evening in Paris is very early in the morning here. So I attended that. And then I mentioned that that play was actually part of a trilogy of plays called Female Scientists to the Rescue. And I said, would you be interested in seeing the others? So I then sent across one about Marie Curie, and they've produced that. And the next one is coming early in 2021, which is called Zany Planets. So eventually they will do the trilogy of plays. The first two are actually set in Paris, and they actually managed to get French actors in English, performing in English, but it was nice to get some authentic French actors working on those scripts. And so things bloom. So once that director gets to know you, then she was interested in my two Christmas plays, which I'd written earlier for other opportunities. So Grounding Santa was a really fun play to write. And ironically, just this very day, about a couple of hours ago, I saw the first read-through of that. It was done in Philadelphia, and the play was written in response to some very specific prompts by another theatre in Florida, and they're producing it tomorrow. So this play's got several productions lined up. It's also going to be in the Paris Festival and another one as well. So the idea was that it had to be set in Santa's workshop. It had to feature a toy that was in the process of being made, and it had to have one specific line of dialogue. So I managed to incorporate all those aspects into one script. So my first thing was Santa's workshop. What can I do there? And I thought, the movie Elf has already been done, so I don't want to focus on elves. And there's been a lot of things like Mrs. Santa Claus, so I don't want to do that. So I wanted to do something a bit original. So I thought, who is Santa Claus? And I thought, well, he's a bit like one of the wizards in Harry Potter. So I looked online, and there is actually this whole fan base thing where, maybe Santa Claus is actually a wizard who was expelled from Hogwarts in the Harry Potter world. So I thought I'll run with that. So in my script, what happens is Santa's on Christmas Eve, and he's all ready to go off with his reindeer and deliver his presents. But a visitor comes from the Potterverse, and this is a young woman called Scroogette, based on Scrooge. And she's trying to stop him because he's openly performing magic, and that's against the rules of the Harry Potter world, where wizards are supposed to keep quiet. And in this story, he's been banished to the North Pole for being too helpful and generous to muggles. And Scroogette is a bit concerned that if he continues with his behaviour, he's going to expose the whole world, and she tries to shut him down and basically ground him. So that's the plot line, and there's a nice little twist at the end. So that's the urgency for that, was that I had to write it within 48 hours. So and it also had to be under 5 pages. So that really focuses you. Actually, my speciality is 10-minute plays, which are usually 10 pages. And this one had to be 5 pages. So that really focuses it. You have to get straight into it. And there has to be a clear arc where the character starts at one point and then moves to somewhere else, all within 5 minutes. So it was a bit of a challenge, but it was a lot of fun to write. And that weekend I had to actually write another one too. I had to write 2 other scripts. So the festival is called 3x3. So what they do is they give writers 3 sets of prompts and ask them to write 3 very short works over 48 hours. And generally people go for monologues. So this play has 2 characters, but the other 2 plays I wrote were just monologues. It's really just a fun piece where people will hopefully just enjoy the characters, because there's a bit of a contrast between them, where one is saying, I'm really trying to help people, and the other one is basically trying to shut them down. So there's a lot of conflict there. And I think the characters are quite relatable, because people can understand when somebody tries to stop you from doing something, you're apt to get a bit annoyed and frustrated, and that's what Santa does. But he also has a way to get around this character and get her on board. So that's what I'm hoping the audience will enjoy, the to and fro between the characters and the resolution too.